The scene opens in the middle of an interrogation. A woman is restrained in a chair while two men demand that she admit to something completely unbelievable. When she refuses, the lead interrogator activates an electric device built into the chair, sending controlled shocks through it. Each round is stronger than the last, and even when his partner warns him he's pushing things too far, he refuses to stop, determined to get the answer he wants. Eventually, he shuts the machine off. He explains to his colleague that the level they used would have seriously harmed an ordinary human, which makes her endurance even more mysterious. Then, in a sudden shift, he walks over to her, apologizes, addresses her as Empress, and politely invites her to dinner. She's stunned, confused, and has no choice but to go along with it. So who is this woman really, and what are these two men trying to uncover? Welcome to Sandy's Timeline. Today, we're covering the 2025 sci-fi thriller Bugonia. Don't forget to subscribe for more recaps like this. We're taken back in time and introduced to Michelle Fuller, CEO of the massive pharmaceutical company Oxalith. She's a widely celebrated figure in her field, featured in major magazines, praised by influential leaders, and known for her polished, carefully maintained lifestyle that keeps her looking vibrant and energetic. On the other side of the story, we meet Teddy Gatz and his cousin Don. Teddy is a dedicated conspiracy theorist who believes that during the upcoming lunar eclipse, a hostile alien species called the Andromedans will slip their mothership into Earth's atmosphere unnoticed. He claims these aliens are responsible for harming honeybee populations, weakening communities, and subtly pushing humans into obedience. Teddy is convinced he's uncovered enough evidence to identify aliens who have blended in as humans, and he believes he's already found one. Together, he and Don begin planning how to capture this supposed infiltrator before the eclipse. Don, who sees things in a very direct and logical way, ends up nudging Teddy further into committing to the plan. The day of the plan finally arrives. Teddy and Don make their way into Michelle's home, disguising themselves before attempting to capture her. To their shock, Michelle is far tougher than they expected. She fights back fiercely, and in the struggle, Don gets hurt. Teddy manages to tranquilize her, and the two load her into their car as she loses consciousness. On the drive home, Teddy tells Don to shave Michelle's head, claiming that if any of her hair remains, the Andromedan mothership will be able to track her remotely. Once they get her into the basement, they cover her in antihistamine cream, insisting it will prevent her from sending a distress signal to any other supposed aliens. Don, still unsure about the whole situation, and especially confused because Michelle seems completely human, asks Teddy how he can be so certain she isn't. Teddy launches into a detailed explanation, pointing out things like her narrow feet, thin cuticles, slight overbite, the shape of her earlobes, and her unusually dense hair. He insists that unless someone studies these traits closely, they wouldn't notice anything unusual. Unsure but trusting his cousin's confidence, Don accepts Teddy's theory, believing Teddy must be the smarter one between them. Teddy makes a deal with Don. For the most part, Don will stay silent and just observe. When Michelle wakes up, she is bewildered, tied up in a basement with two men, her hair shaved, and no clear explanation. Teddy tells her that the hair was removed to prevent her from contacting her mothership, leaving her utterly confused and thinking it must be some kind of elaborate joke. Agitated by how absurd the situation seems, Michelle warns them that her disappearance will spark a massive manhunt involving the FBI and other authorities, given her influence and connections. Teddy dismisses her concerns, explaining instead that she has 4 days to negotiate a meeting with the Andromedan Emperor before the upcoming lunar eclipse, which is when the alien mothership is expected to enter Earth's atmosphere undetected. What follows is a tense back and forth. Teddy insists she is an alien, while Michelle denies it vehemently. Nothing he says seems to persuade her. Before leaving her for the night, Teddy hands her a voice recorder and asks her to make a statement that they will deliver to her emperor. The next day, as instructed, Michelle is forced to apply the antihistamine cream to suppress her distress signal. Still in disbelief over being held captive, she decides to record a taunting message admitting that she is an alien. But Teddy isn't convinced. He thinks she's mocking him, especially since she hasn't spoken in her supposed Andromedan language or requested a meeting with the Emperor. His frustration grows and he loses his composure. Unsure of how to handle the situation, Michelle tries to use her knowledge of psychology to challenge him. She suggests that perhaps his belief in a mothership and aliens is being reinforced by consuming too much content online, creating a sort of self-confirming loop. But Teddy is adamant. He is certain she is an alien and insists his conviction isn't influenced by outside content or a psychological trap. He stands his ground, convinced Michelle is deliberately hiding the truth. Even when Michelle offers financial incentives to secure her release, Teddy flatly refuses, insisting that nothing will make him waver. The next day, Teddy and Don return, and Michelle tries to reason with them, hoping to convince Teddy to reconsider. Observing her extraordinary pain tolerance, he becomes convinced she must be a high-ranking member of the Andromedan royal family, and he invites her upstairs for dinner. The tense meal escalates into a physical confrontation, which is interrupted by Casey, the local sheriff and Teddy's childhood babysitter, who is searching for Michelle. Don takes Michelle back to the basement at gunpoint, while Teddy distracts Casey by showing him his apiary in the backyard. A flashback reveals that Teddy's mother, Sandy, participated in a clinical trial for an oxalate drug that left her permanently altered, with financial compensation offered, but her life never fully the same. Back in the present, Michelle tries to negotiate with Don, offering to help him if he reports Teddy to the authorities. Don, however, insists he only wants to go to outer space with Michelle. After she promises to take him, he makes a drastic and tragic decision by shooting himself in the head. The loud disturbance alerts Casey, the local sheriff, and a violent confrontation ensues between him and Teddy, which leads to Teddy bludgeons him to death with a shovel. He returns to the basement. Michelle, thinking quickly, convinces a frantic Teddy that a bottle of antifreeze in her car is actually an Andromedan antidote that could help his mother. Acting on this belief, Teddy rushes to the hospital to administer it. Meanwhile, Michelle frees herself and discovers that Teddy has previously abducted and harmed several other people he suspected were Andromedans, revealing the full extent of his obsession. Angered by Michelle's deception, Teddy returns to confront her. Using her intelligence and calm reasoning, Michelle emotionally disarms him by presenting an alternative perspective on his alien conspiracy. She claims that, out of guilt for accidentally causing the mass extinction of the dinosaurs, the Andromedans created humanity and have spent thousands of years guiding humans away from their violent tendencies. She reveals that her mothership holds the key to saving humanity and agrees to arrange a meeting between Teddy and the Andromedans at Oxalith headquarters. At the office, Teddy shocks Michelle by revealing that he is wearing a suicide vest. Thinking quickly, Michelle convinces him to enter a closet, claiming it contains a teleporter to her ship. As he steps inside, the vest detonates, killing him and knocking Michelle unconscious. She awakens in an ambulance, escapes, and returns to her office, entering the closet and teleporting to the Andromedan mothership. Michelle is finally revealed as the genuine Andromedan leader. Consulting with her fellow aliens, she concludes that humanity's experiment has failed. Using advanced technology, she enacts a global reset, eradicating human life while bees slowly return to Teddy's apiary. The film ends with Michelle observing Earth, now devoid of humans, as the consequences of her secret mission unfold. Michelle Fuller's story leaves us questioning who we can really trust and what lengths power and knowledge can drive someone to. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Sandy's Timeline for more movie recaps and deep dives into your favorite films. Hit the bell so you never miss an upload, and let us know in the comments what you think of Michelle's shocking reveal. Would you have survived her experiment?